What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Respect and Pray Show with yours truly, Miguel Mike Medina, Triple M. In this episode, I am so happy of everything that this woman is accomplishing. I met her a few years ago, and I'm just seeing her killing it, winning awards left and right, putting out outstanding content. And you guys are gonna know who she is, and I can't wait for you to see what everything that she's accomplished, everything that she's been doing from theater and film. So stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to present to you the jack of all trades, Yudelka Heyer. Yudelka, thank you for being here today.
Hi, Mike. I'm doing fantastic. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and congrats on this amazing platform.
What drove you to get into this business?
That's a good question. I would say creativity and passion. The need of creating my own work, giving myself the opportunity rather than wait for others to give me the opportunity to create. I have an acting and writing background, and I just made the decision to give myself the opportunity to be out there, to to show the universe what I was capable of doing. And of course, when you're starting, nobody believes in you. Everybody thinks it's part of an experiment, and nobody wants to be part of that experiment till later on in the process. But you do learn so much from your mistakes. And that was one of the things that gave me the opportunity, because that's how I see it, of wearing different hats. And I do it with such a great honor every time I have the opportunity to do it, because that's the way that an artist grows. And I'm pretty sure that those that are up there, they started same way that we're starting, but it was one of the best decisions that I made. Rather than waiting for another person to give me the opportunity, I created it myself. And that was just how that passion of wanting to be creating and wanting to really bring to the universe what I have, tell my own stories, produce my own work. That's how I really end up with this great passion and doing things.
You attended the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Lots of big names came out of the institution. If you can sum up your experience in 3 words, what would it be?
Professionalism, self-discipline, passion for your craft. At the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, I had the privilege of having amazing teachers that taught me the importance of being professional, that it was not only having talent, your talent is not enough. You need to be professional. Self-discipline is what is going to keep your fire burning in this business. Otherwise, you won't be able to succeed. And being professional is the best favor that you're doing towards your craft. And of course, the passion, it's what is going to keep your flame burning constantly. And I feel that those 3 ingredients, that's how I like to call it, that I learned there are really powerful and have been the success in my career. After years have passing by and I put them more into practice, I'm really grateful that I learned those three things. Of course, I learned so many acting tools that I was able to combine with those tools that I learned as well at the New World School of the Arts in Florida and Prometeo Theater. And I was able to combine all those acting tools, but there's also something beyond not only being a good actor or being a good director or a good writer. It takes self-discipline for you to maintain every day, what you do. And of course, without passion, there's no way for you to really keep moving forward into what you do. You can do something and accomplish, but passion will drive you forward, and having that professionalism out there is going to set you apart. And those three ingredients that I learned at the academy, I feel that I will always cherish and keep them close to my heart.
You directed a play called This Is Me, which I went to see it at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. What was your approach and inspiration to tell a story?
As a director, I always like to tell stories about topics that trigger important conversation in our society, and such is the case of This Is Me, written by Barbara Bernardi. I feel that play is so powerful because it does expose topics such as women's rights, and also force us into exposing in a comedy way, but very serious, the important topic about how the society has seen women throughout the years, and how our society also have normalized certain topics about women, and how sometimes even women's themselves to avoid certain things, to still swallow certain situations just because they always say that about us and it's all right. And I had so much fun in directing this play because I, as a director, I was able to really trigger direct the moment to really be so funny and get the best of the actress. But then at the same time, the bigger your laugh, the bigger the shame, because I'll make you laugh about certain topics that is funny, right? But not really towards the end. And I feel that was this powerful tool that I had in my hands of really highlighting as a director those topics that are so embarrassed for us to laugh about, but we still do. And then therefore like trigger that conversation, and at the end like having that serious like awareness, and that was such a reward.
Theater or film?
Ooh. It's a hard one because I love theater, but I'm gonna go with film.
Directing or acting?
You know the answer. Let's go with directing with an acting cameo.
Palm Springs or Beverly Hills?
I'm gonna go Palm Spring, nature and everything.
Make homemade food or go to your favorite restaurant?
Always homemade, but if the food burns, let's go to my favorite restaurant.
Movie theaters or online online streaming service?
I appreciate online streaming, and they have saved us so much. We wouldn't have been able to survive without them, but nothing like going to the theaters. I'll go with theater.
Last but not least, D Train or the Honey Cycle?
I have to laugh. Dear honey, there's no way I can pick either or. They both so special. I'll go 50-50. I love them both. Sorry.
Speaking of D Train, this is the first movie that I saw from yours because I met you at the Dominican Film Festival back in 2019. And the film, won several awards. But what was it like to film inside the train station? And any challenges you faced while shooting the movie?
The biggest challenge shooting the train was the cold. That was the coldest day in the city, like in 30 years. But then at the same time, it was one of those moments that we couldn't postpone the shooting again because we had done it so much that it was almost a year in changing the dates of the shooting date. I remember that our actor, the lead actor, Billy Martin, he had to wear so many layers under because what he had on the top was a leather jacket. And of course, that temperature was not for leather jacket. So he ended up using different layers under and then the leather jacket on the top. Thank God he was skinny. That he was able to add all those layers. And we even show you at one moment when the characters arrive at the apartment when he's unzipping all of those jackets. That is a funny moment, but it's a funny moment that reflects so much what was happening. And he still was very cold, and the entire cast and our actress as well. But we powered through, and we got our final product was amazing, and that's the most important thing. That sometimes in productions you go through certain things, but at the same time, I think that was the price to pay, and then you shoot the short film, and you go through the post production, and the final product come out something amazing that you just laugh about how hard it was to have that product.
You went on to make the Honey Cycle, which I was completely impressed and caught off guard by your acting because I'm so accustomed of seeing you direct, produce, and write that I completely forgot that you also act as well. So to see you acting in this movie, I was impressed. I'm like, okay, I see her. I see you. But tell us, the audience, what is Honey Cycle and what made you to want to tell a story?
Honey Cycle is a powerful conversation about the post-trauma of domestic violence, where as a writer I wanted to again trigger that conversation of talking about the topic, because sometimes it's like, oh yes, you were a victim, you go through this cycle of being a victim, and then you are a survivor. And as a survivor, what you go through, because we all know as a victim what you go through, but I don't think it's so much exposed what a survivor have to deal with in an everyday life. And I wanted, as a writer, to really write a piece in which we could really have a small window into what is it to go through that in an everyday life, that it just doesn't end with just the victims there and later on survivors becoming survivors. Like a survivor carries scarf, traumas, and I wanted to really open up that conversation and really create awareness of what they go through, and really talk about taboo topics and really clarify certain myths about why do they stay and all of that. So and I, of course, as an actress, I wanted to throw myself into it because I wanted to be part of that movement. And a reason why I feel that everyone should watch or have the opportunity to really see, because you do learn so much into certain situations that sometimes we normalize and we feel that they are like they're not violence, but by seeing through their testimonies how things escalate, you do become aware. So I feel that the audience must see Honey because it creates awareness into what domestic violence is. It educates them so much about what they go through, and expose reasons. Sometimes I do think that after watching Honey, you come out of the theater with a wider understanding of what is that phenomenon of domestic violence, and then also most important, that is not only subject to just a woman, women's, but man, everyone is exposed to violence. Like I like to always say, violence is violence. It has no gender, but it definitely will walk you through the understanding of different type of violence, and that's the beauty of Honey.
As I like to tell every guest that comes on this show, this platform is to give people their flowers while it's still here, help them promote their work, especially those who need more exposure. But you, oh man, what can I say about you? I've seen you since I've met you from 2019 and from 2019 to now. I've seen you accomplish so much. I am so proud of you. I salute you. Keep doing your thing, and I have no doubt that the future will be bright for you. Well, that concludes for this episode of the Respect and Praise Show. Always remember, have mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual admiration. So, until next episode.